This is Christine Lim reporting live from the 2010 Winter NAMM show. We're here in the Bourns booth speaking with Bernie Hamburger, who is master luthier, accomplished guitarist extraordinaire. Bernie built and sold his first guitar to Annie Summers, lead guitarist of the Police, in 1983. He later met with George Harrison and Carl Perkins, who loved his custom crafted guitars. Bernie's company, Hamburger Guitars, also custom craft guitars for well-known guitarists such as Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, Nick Lashley of Alanis Morissette, and Howard Leasley of The Heart. Hamburger Guitar also offers all familiar popular designs from Stratocasters to Les Pauls. Bernie, it's great to have you here in the Bourns booth today.
It's a blast. I'm happy to be here at the Bourns booth.
Thank you. There's no question that you produce a custom line of quality guitars. And so can you give us a quick overview of the construction of these guitars and how you go about selecting high quality components?
First, it starts in the woods. Very selective in the woods. I get my woods from the whole globe. Of course, I don't travel the globe looking for them, but I call around. I research on the internet.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times I'm lucky enough to get wood here in the United States. Portland, Oregon's a good supplier for that. But then it goes on from there, of course, and then, you know, pickups. Seymour Duncan hand makes my pickups for me, and I'm pretty proud of that. Electronics is a very key element in the craftsmanship of an electric guitar.
So, you mentioned in your bio that you worked with George Harrison.
Correct.
And he used one of your guitars in Real Love, which is the last recorded song.
Right, last recorded song, and it's technically or officially a true Beatles song because they're using the vocal track of the departed John Lennon. So it's all four of them on the song, so it's technically a Beatles song. It's not just a George Harrison song or whatever. So I'm pretty proud of that.
So can you tell us a little bit about working with him?
Well, I got to meet him in London in 1992 through Carl Perkins, who was who George Harrison looked up to when he was a youngster, just like I looked up to George Harrison when I was a youngster. So it was kind of like I got to hang with my idol, and he got to be with his. So it was kind of like a cool thing, you know. But I made the guitar for Carl Perkins, and George was very intrigued with the looks and the craftsmanship of it that he wanted. He had a lot of interest in it, so Carl Perkins arranged a meeting for George Harrison and myself, and it really worked out quite well.
Nice, great. You're also accomplished guitarist yourself.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think I am. Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit about your current band and the music you enjoy playing?
Well, I'm in a band in Las Vegas called The Trip. It's a 60s British invasion band. We do Beatles, Rolling Stones, a lot of bands from the 60s era, some American bands as well. And it's a tribute act where we cover the songs exactly like the original recording. So if you shut your eyes, you'd almost think you're hearing the actual original artist. So it's quite a unique project, and people enjoy watching the show.
Great. What do you look for in potentiometer in terms of characteristics of performance?
Potentiometers, people sometimes just don't realize what a big part of an electric guitar that is. It's not just, well, gee, it's a knob that turns me up and down or adjusts the tone. It's so much more than that. And what I like about the Bourns pots, the graduation sweep is perfect. It's great. It's got a great attack. Very smooth physically when you're turning the spindle, the knob. And what's really nice about the Bourns pot versus the competitors, they stay, you could have it for years and they're just like brand new. They don't get noisy, they don't get scratchy. They sound great. And I'm not just saying that because I'm at your booth. I mean,
that's great too.
They are.
Have you?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great pot, you know, and thank God they exist.
So you know that you're familiar with the vintage model 82. You're now formally releasing here again in
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How did you find out about these pots and why do you like them?
Well, believe it or not, I found out about these pots before I was even a builder. Back in the 70s, believe it or not, late 70s, I remember having a Gibson Les Paul, and a friend of mine had one too, and he had Bourns pots in the blue casing. And I thought, man, these feel really smooth. They sound, you know, nice, even graduation of increase and decrease in volume. Where'd you get these? And he told me, and then I took it to a happened to have a technician way before I was a technician, and they installed them in my Les Paul. I thought, man, these are great. So eventually when I got into the building, I thought, you know, early on I did use some of your competitors' pots, but they just weren't, there was something missing.
Yeah.
You know, and they just didn't have that feel. The graduation from 0 to 3 wouldn't be that different. Then all of a sudden there was an increase in volume. It just wasn't an even taper. So
Well, you've got to try out all the pots to see which one you like.
you have to, you know.
Like any other thing.
And I don't think there's anything that's like the Bourns pot. I really don't think there is.
Great. Well, you've already talked about my last question, which was compare